Good Monday afternoon to everybody in Dodgers territory land. We are happy that you are here. It is our last show of 2024. I thought I would bust out the shirt that everyone's talking about. We saw it on bumper stickers. Let's do this. I loved it. Nothing elicits as much joy for Dodgers fans and as much pain for Yankees fans as this symbol right here. Clint Pasillas, Alanna, Rizzo with you here on Dodgers territory. Thank you so much for being with us. By the way, we hit 7,000 subscribers. We appreciate you guys very much. Let's get some more. Like us, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, tell your friends wherever you get your podcast, or of course on YouTube. All right, my friend, great to see you. Happy New Year. Let's get to the big ticket.
Let's do it.
Clint, our prayers have been answered. Whether you believe in a higher power, whether you believe in Santa Claus, Saint Nick, whatever it is, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, Andrew Friedman.
I believe in Andrew Friedman.
Thank you. Teoscar Hernandez signing reportedly a 3-year deal, $66 million. Again, not official by the team, but you know who made it official, Clint? Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, at least if you read between the emojis, that's what it's saying. On Foul Territory, we posted what Teoscar just posted on his Instagram story. I'm back. I sent him a text. I said, congratulations, felicidades. He said, thank you. So I'm going to go with he's going back. I'm going to say he's back with the Los Angeles Dodgers, my friend.
The prayers are answered. We were at a point this offseason where we were starting to get a little worried. I was starting to get a little antsy. Understanding, listen, we were surviving the holidays and all of that. You have to kind of let these people go and live their lives. He is a World Series champion, probably goes back home, parties, hangs out with family, and then comes back and says, let's get this deal done. Whoever made the deal happen, thank you, because this Dodgers outfield suddenly looks so much better. The Dodgers lineup suddenly has their cleanup hitter back, and again, we're happy. It's a great way, a great late Christmas present, and a great way to look ahead to the 2025 season, knowing that Teo's going to be in the lineup then. He's going to be in the lineup in 2026, and look at the fans also happy. We also had a mural popping up featuring Teoscar Hernandez in Los Angeles. You love to see that.
I love the fact that he got the deal, hopefully, that he wanted. I know there was some conversation about, is it money? Is it deal terms? Is it deferred money? What is the situation? But I'm okay with a 3-year, $66 million deal. When we were on our show the last time, I said 3 years, 60, 65, 70. I was even okay with going to 70 million. $66 million for Teoscar Hernandez, I think, is a very fair contract. I think it is a good contract for Teo. I think it is a good contract for Los Angeles. I don't feel that they are overpaying him. I don't feel that they are undervaluing him. So I think it's a good spot, and he's back. We knew he wanted to come back, and you're right, man. That outfield is so much better than it was, a week ago, and that lineup is so much better than it was a week ago when he was still out there on the open market.
Yeah, when we're talking deal, too, like I initially, entering this offseason, I thought the market would be a little bit higher for him. I thought it was going to be closer to like a 81 million, something like that. Maybe seeing Teo kind of making the pocket of Freddie Freeman money. Some people got really upset at that idea. I think he maybe could have got more, but it's a good deal for both sides. We know Teoscar bet on himself last offseason, ultimately kind of signs, lands a 4-year, $89 million, almost $90 million deal. So it is good money. I will take it in a heartbeat. And that 4th-year option, which kind of acts as a 5th-year option, not really, but the 4th-year option is really, really good. I think that was one of the many little hang-ups or whatever, but we don't need to worry about that. All we need to worry about is the Dodgers telling us, hey, we have a press conference to introduce somebody. People, come on down. I really hope they do that, by the way. Like, don't just make it an Instagram post.
I think they will, Clint, but I think that the front office, again, as you mentioned, these are people first before they're front office folk. They're people before they're athletes. I did send Andrew Friedman, our guy, a text. I said, could I have you on the show today? He said, I'm on vacation. I said, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I do hope to get Andrew Friedman on the show. I do hope to get Teoscar on the show. He did commit to coming on. We just have to figure out logistics and the date for Teo to include us not only on here on Dodgers territory, but he's going to appear on foul territory with the guys as well. But I have to say, I'm so sick and tired of people on the interweb, on the Google machine, if you will, talking about the fact that the Dodgers are ruining baseball. Again, no, they're not. The Dodgers, yes, make a lot of money, okay? But the Dodgers also give back a lot of money in the revenue sharing portion of the thing to teams that don't have the same quote unquote revenue opportunities. So while they make a lot of money and they can defer a lot of money and they can sign a lot of players to these big contracts, they also put a lot back into the pot. And I think Jeff Passan had a good point too. Do you not?
Listen. $103 million the Dodgers paid, the most in baseball, towards rev sharing for the 2024 season. You pay that anytime, but listen, what Jeff Passan said is absolutely true. You pay the money, you put your money where your mouth is. They reward this this fan base for coming out, for showing out, for buying Dodger dogs and micheladas, paying insane prices to park in the Dodger Stadium parking lot. This is what you get. You get the reward of Teoscar coming back, Shohei Ohtani being a Dodger for 9 more years. And then there was another thing, too, that Passan, had kind of gotten a little bit of a Twitter beef with somebody because, obviously you get this. We know there's deferrals. We know there's a signing bonus, and people are, boo-hooing about the Dodgers signing a contract with deferrals. Every team is allowed to do it. The Dodgers aren't the only one that can do it. And, hey, the next thing we're going to talk about in a minute or two, Corbin Burnes signed with the Diamondbacks, got himself a little bit of a deferral in that contract as well. But before we get through all of that, listen, we got the main move we wanted done. Do you think the Dodgers are done with this offseason, or what else could be on the table?
The only thing that would really make me happy as like a complete, bow on a really great Christmas package is to get the other Hernandez back. I would love to see Kike Hernandez back in a Dodger uniform. Is it going to bring as much fanfare as Teoscar? No. But is he a critical piece, in my opinion, to really making an unbelievable team that much better? Yeah, I do believe so. Would I like Roki Sasaki? Maybe. But I do think we have enough of a great pitching staff, with the exception of Walker Buehler going to Boston, but I understand. I do think our pitching staff is going to be okay, good enough to get to where they want to be. Obviously, it depends on where we're at the trade deadline, right? And then you just got to get into October, and you got to figure it out from there. But if they could sign Kike Hernandez, and I think Kike wants to come back too, he said that himself, that to me would mean the Dodgers won the offseason. And that is with the fact the Yankees signed Max Fried, the Diamondbacks got Corbin Burnes. I mean, remember, the Dodgers got Blake Snell. That seems like 1,000 years ago. But that would make me happy. Do you think that they are done? And if they're not done, what are they eyeing right now?
They are not done. What they're eyeing right now has to be some trades, because the 40-man roster is at 40 with the Teoscar Hernandez signing, and maybe he's 41. I think he was the 40th. So if they want to bring back Kike Hernandez, they're going to need a roster spot for Kike Hernandez. At some point, they're going to need a roster spot for Clayton Kershaw, who says he's coming back. They say he's coming back. We're just waiting through that. Maybe that happens in spring training when the 60-day injured list does open. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them working, behind the scenes on some sort of, move to improve the roster, as they always do through the trade, the trade waiver wire, not waiver wire, but through the trade circuit. I don't know. I can't think of the word I'm looking for here. But anyways, they're trying to find a trade. Maybe it's moving Chris Taylor. Maybe it's moving Gavin Lux, because we've heard both of these names kind of thrown around. Maybe it's just moving somebody that's lower on the roster to try to maximize some sort of value out of them. But you need to open some roster space before you can add a little bit more. If they do land Roki Sasaki, that would be a phenomenal move. That would be what everybody kind of expects to happen. Roki Sasaki eventually landing with the Dodgers. But we know they need a Kike, and they need probably one more reliever. If that's not Tanner Scott, it's going to be somebody through that on the trade market. And maybe it's a Ryan Helsley. We know St. Louis wants to cut some payroll. There's some moves. There's some opportunity out there. So I think that's where Andrew Friedman is busy, where this front office is busy. They're looking to move some pieces that maybe might shock us a little bit, but they're not done. We're far from done.
Tanner Scott would shock me at this point. And I have to say that if opening day was tomorrow, I'm still pretty psyched about this roster. Do I want
Yeah.
PK? 1,000%. Would I love to see Roki Sasaki in that rotation? Obviously. But if this is it, if we go to sleep tonight, opening day is tomorrow, I'm okay. I'm okay with this roster construction and the lineup that we have at the moment. But again, there's some other teams in the NL West, Clint, that are making some moves. It's not just the mighty Dodgers. How about the next segment? Let's get to the mound visit.
Let's do it.
Feel good, Tommy. I don't give a shit. You feel good. There's 4 hits up there.
God rest his soul.
It's a great front end.
Tommy Lasorda is the best. So now the Dodgers are going to have to face a mighty big arm. They've seen him before, obviously, when he was in the NL Central with the Milwaukee Brewers. But now the Los Angeles Dodgers, Clint, are going to have to face arguably the biggest piece on the market in terms of pitchers in Corbin Burnes. 6 years, $210 million. After a very quiet winter, Arizona really, without Blake Snell, got the best pitcher on the market, and now they're going to have to see him a long time. And this rotation for the Diamondbacks just got a hell of a lot better, and it was already good. If you look at what they had, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez, who remember didn't want to come to the Dodgers, said no on the trade to the Dodgers. Jordan Montgomery, who said, you know what, I'm going to stick it to you, Ken Kendrick, and I'm going to opt in. I'm going to take that offer. Go ahead. And then Brandon Pfaadt, who obviously is a young guy but has some postseason experience. Now, this may not be their opening day roster. This might be a trade piece. Merrill Kelly, who knows? They might trade him just to free up some salary. But holy moly, the D-backs rotation is very good.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great move. This was, I would argue, of any of the moves we've seen so far this offseason, this one was very much out of left field. You did not expect to see Corbin Burnes. You did not expect to see the Diamondbacks playing at that level, $200 million level. They haven't played at that high since adding Zach Greinke, stealing Greinke from the Dodgers all those years ago. But this is great. And what did Dino Ebel tell us when he came on the show a month or so ago? He said one of the things that he feels helped this Dodgers team win the World Series was playing meaningful baseball all the way through the season, all the way into September, trying to make sure they secured that NL West division crown. Keeping teams in the NL West good, making it stay the NL best, that helps the Dodgers. And yeah, you don't want to see the competition, get better. I understand that. A lot of fans don't, but remember what happened in 23. Remember what happened in 22. Dodgers cruise their way to another division crown, and they stumble in the first round. I really like this move, even if it's going against the Dodgers. Great move for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and great move for the Dodgers to have another ace, another great pitcher to have to face while getting ready for hopefully another World Series run.
I mean, I don't need to have a heart attack in the DS every year. I could deal with a little bit of a smoother ride, but I completely understand what you're saying about if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. And having that constant competition when you see these guys 18, 19 times a season or whatever it is, that can only be good for the Dodgers. That can only be good for the Dodgers position players and good for Corbin Burnes. 6 years, $210 million. The guy gets to stay home. His wife just had twins. They're from Arizona. God bless them. The tax breaks in Arizona. You know what? Again, we have to remember these guys are people before they're players. Maybe he didn't want to be on the East Coast. Maybe Baltimore didn't extend him a ridiculous offer. Maybe it just Arizona made sense for him. And they have a good team and they have a good rotation. They have a really good front office. They have a good culture. And I love their manager. I mean, I don't know. Do you think the Diamondbacks now, Clint, with where we stand, again, opening day is tomorrow, do they have the best starting rotation in the division?
I don't want to feel like a homer, but I don't know. Looking on paper, I still think the Dodgers are just better. They have guys that have been there in the World Series. Yeah, sure, the Diamondbacks do as well, but they've been there to the World Series, competed in the World Series with Yamamoto. Glasnow's been there. Adding Blake Snell to the top of that rotation. At some point, there will be a Clayton Kershaw in the mix. I like those arms. I like the Dodgers rotation. I mean, it's super close. It's super close for sure. But there's more talent in the Dodgers rotation than there is in the Arizona Diamondbacks. Again, very tight, very tight.
Yeah, I think it's very close. I think it's
Yeah.
1A, and I can see you
Look at this
picking,
again.
both sides. Yeah, if you throw it up there again, thanks for doing that. Just for visual purposes, I'm a visual learner, but I mean, you think about the fact that they had Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly and Jordan Montgomery, and again, like I said, Brandon Pfaadt, young kid, but experience already in the postseason, and they have a really good lineup. I mean, they don't have Christian Walker anymore in that lineup, but that's okay. Corbin Burnes is obviously a very, very nice addition to what is happening with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So again, they're spending money as well. I think they went into the season last year at 170 million. That's the highest payroll that they've had, and now they just dropped 210 on one guy over the course of the next 6 years. Good for them.
So a question I have for you here is, are the Diamondbacks now the clear second best in the NL West? Because the Padres have been very good. We were afraid. You were definitely afraid of the Padres entering last year's postseason. Everybody has to give you shit for saying, hey, the Padres might beat the Dodgers, for picking with your smarts instead of just saying the Dodgers are going to win. Did the Diamondbacks leapfrog the Padres?
I don't know. I don't know about that. And I know everyone's pissed off every time I go against the Dodgers. It's not like I don't want the Dodgers to win, but realistically, I mean, and ask Dave Roberts, ask Andrew Friedman. That was a very difficult series to win against the San Diego Padres. And I said on our show, if they get past the Padres, they will go to the World Series. And they did, and they won. And I agreed to shave my head, and I didn't have to because they won the World Series. So there you have it. I think they're a much better team now than Corbin Burnes. I'm still... When you have, King in a rotation, and you have Musgrove, who hopefully can come back, and you have some of these guys
Dylan Cease
in a rotation of
rotation,
this. Thank you. I couldn't. Yeah. I forgot his name for a hot second. Dylan Cease in that rotation. I think they have a better lineup than the Diamondbacks do. So I still kind of give the Padres the edge. As far as that's concerned, but I love the competition, and you know what, the Giants got better too. So I don't know what the Rockies are doing, but I think 4 of the 5 teams in the division got better, and that's exactly what you want. You want competitive baseball. You don't want to know that you're basically mathematically eliminated in May.
So meanwhile, we're still waiting for the Rockies to wake up and do anything, which obviously will never happen. Another thing that I really love about this whole Corbin Burnes thing was a lot of folks had, the Giants as the likely destination. We know they were talking, but once again, the Giants, they strike out on a big name free agent. Like, how tough? Clearly, it wasn't Farhan's fault. He talked about that with the boys on Foul last week, 2 weeks ago. It wasn't Farhan's fault. What is it that makes the San Francisco so unappealing to these high dollar free agents?
Well, I think first of all, I mean, again, I'm completely just spitballing here. I haven't the slightest idea. No one's come to me asking me to pitch at Oracle Park. But if you think about first of all, the taxes in California are freaking brutal. Okay, number one. And you get taxed in your home park, and you also get taxed every single place that you play. Even as a broadcaster, I had to pay taxes in every city and every state in which the Dodgers played in. Okay, so keep that in mind. So if the majority of your home games are in California, that's a big difference. That's why a lot of guys prefer to play in Texas. They prefer to play in Arizona, Florida, because of the way that the tax implications and those things are. Okay, so just because you're in California does not mean you're playing in nice weather. As beautiful as Oracle Park is, I could not stand when the Dodgers played the Giants because it's always freezing. It's always freezing there. And it's like those 7:20 starts, the 20 after first pitch starts. My God, I swear to God, it's like the wind would just pick up off the bay. Now, you think it's a pitcher's park. So as a pitcher, you probably want to play there versus a position player. LA is not, San Francisco's so different than Los Angeles. They're just so different. So maybe that's part of it.
Yeah,
It's
LA, San Diego,
it's the weather.
Well.
I mean, for sure, they're very different places, very different cultures and feelings. It's not that. San Francisco won 3 World Series in a span of 10 years. So it's not like they're not a winning culture. I'm not sure why these big free agents are not wanting to go there. But that is a good interview with Farhan Zaidi. That we had a couple of weeks ago with Foul Territory. Check it out on the Foul Territory page because he gave us some really good insight about what he was kind of looking for, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah. By the way, we have a poll running on our live chat right now, asking who has the best rotation in the NL West. Guys, do go ahead and participate in that. Maybe we'll have that be a topic in a future segment. But I'll spoil it by saying the Dodgers still have the best rotation. I'll take the Dodgers lineup over anybody else in the NL West. I'd probably take that Dodgers lineup over any other team in baseball. And yes, I am a homer. Yes, that's a biased take. But they found
the lineup
something.
for sure.
They found something special
sure.
last year together, and they just gotta, keep spinning that forward. They gotta spin that forward.
Yeah. I agree. One thing I will say this is that Buster Posey, I think, even though he doesn't have any sort of front office experience, he has a really big brain in between those ears, and I think the Giants will be headed in a good direction as long as he surrounds himself with people that know what the heck that they're doing. Because there's no way that he doesn't have that experience. He's a potential Hall of Fame catcher, but he's not, president of baseball operations just yet. But I like our squad, Clint. I like our squad.
It's good time. Hey, we are set up for another great year in 2025, and be another great year with us doing another season of Dodgers territory. But we got more show coming up right now. First, we got to get into the last licks.
All right, guys, last licks. This is the final one of the 2024 season. This is Cash. He was a stray roaming around the desert near Fresno, California, actually by Freant, California. Finally, we're able to kind of corral him in. He's terrified of everything, but he is gorgeous. He's an Aussie mix. We definitely think he's Aussie something. We've ordered a DNA kit. We were able to commandeer him and get him to Southern California. So he is now in the Santa Clarita area at a foster home. He is an escape artist. He's trying to get out of everything because he's terrified. We're going to get him microchipped. We're going to get him neutered. We're going to get him training because he's an Aussie and they are very, very, very smart and they need a job. So if you're interested in learning more about Cash, please reach out. We'd love to connect you and learn more about this sweet boy. He's about 18 months old, and he's a sweetheart, great with other dogs, and smart as a whip. All right, Clint, much more Dodgers territory in 2025, but what is coming up on Dodgers, All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas before we talk about our baseball thought for the road?
Yeah, the other big news coming up. But yeah, tonight, more Dodgers talk. It will be the final All Dodgers of the year as well. So Tube in, myself, producer Kevin will be kind of reflecting on the year, reflecting on the first full season of All Dodgers as a show, as an entity as well. Plus, more thoughts about where the Dodgers stand entering the 2025 season, NL West, all of that kind of stuff. At this time of year, yeah, there's going to be a lot of repetition or repeated topics on some of these shows, but it should be a good time. A lot of comments, voicemails. So tube in 6 o'clock Pacific time tonight on the YouTube machine. But
all right, we appreciate it. All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas. Now, what a year that Shohei Ohtani has had. As we give you our thought for the road, my word, not only does he sign a $700 million contract, I mean, obviously not right into 2024, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
$700 million contract. Then we find out that he's married. Nobody knew. Find out he's married. Then he wins his first World Series in the first year as a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Then we are introduced to the cutest dog in the history of dogs. The only way Decoy could have been cuter is if he was a rescue. And then we find out that after another MVP season for Shohei Ohtani, he and his lovely wife are expecting a baby. And by the color of the onesie, I'm just guessing here, I believe they're expecting a girl. I don't know that, but I'm assuming that they are expecting a daughter. Congratulations to Shohei Ohtani. Mercy, what a year.
Hey, you know what? Shohei Ohtani didn't get a lot of hits in the World Series, but he was hitting something during the postseason. Oh my I'm God. I'm sorry. Listen, I got to be that guy every once in a while. But congrats to the Ohtanis. I'm hoping the Dodgers already have a contract in place. Defer, with some deferrals and everything, because I'm pretty sure that kid's going to be uber talented.
A
because
$1 billion baby. As talented as that baby's parents are and athletic as that baby's parents are, my goodness. All right.
one
What do you
last
need to
thing.
boost your New Year's Eve celebration,
I
by
was
the
gonna
way?
say one last thing before we go. This I love, guys. If you're hanging out, you're partying tomorrow night, and you need something on one of your mini TVs in the living room, I suggest to you Game 5 of the World Series. You see that lady wearing a shirt reminding you about a special inning for the Los Angeles Dodgers. But 9:22 p.m. is the time you want to start Game 5. If you want to see the Dodgers win it right at midnight, and you want to hear Joe Davis saying, "Start the party, Los Angeles." So there it is.
That's awesome.
That's how you could rock in your 2025 with Joe and the gang. That's pretty cool, though. I like
That's
that. I love
awesome.
people doing the
Who
homework
came
for
up with
us.
that? I love that. Yeah, thanks a lot for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, 9:22 p.m. Pacific. Let's do it. Is it Pacific or Eastern?
Well, I mean, whatever time your New Year's falls. So you
No,
have the
well, that's true.
control. You have the control
No,
on the
yes, yeah.
YouTube. You guys also have
That's
control to
good.
hit the
That's a good
subscribe
one.
button. Just saying.
Yeah. All right. So before we say goodbye, I wanted to wish Sandy Koufax, the man that has the left arm from God, a very happy 89th birthday. Sandy is one of the coolest people I've ever met, and I'll never forget. I have so much respect for him that I always would call him Mr. Koufax when I saw him at the ballpark. He's a very private person, right?
Yes.
So he's not around a lot. We saw him once in a while in spring training, couple of postseason games type of situation, but he's a very quiet and private man. And I was like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Koufax. How are you?" And he was like, "If you don't call me Sandy, I'll never give you another interview." And he's just a sweet, sweet man. He's 89. He's in great shape. God bless him. Happy birthday, Sandy.
Need to keep as many of our Dodgers legends around. We've lost so much over the last few years. Sandy, stay happy, stay healthy, and we hopefully see you living to 95, 100, all that kind of stuff. But happy birthday, Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, you're heading
Multi-worlds.
out on vacation the rest of the week. So I am hosting Dodgers Territory solo on Thursday. Everybody let us know in the chat who you want to see as my guest host on Thursday's Dodgers Territory. Happy New Year, everybody. Be safe, be smart, don't be an idiot. We want you as part of our family in 2025. Until then, go Dodgers.
Bye.